Yes, as I said, Mr. Trump says he will unveil his own replacement plan for Obamacare alongside the House Speaker Paul Ryan and the Senate Leader Mitch McConnell. And he says lawmakers will go along with it or face his ire via Twitter. Back now to talk about this is Jason Johnson and Larry Sabato. Welcome back. So, first question, Larry. Mr. Trump told the Washington Post his replacement plan would provide health care for everyone. There would be no cuts to Medicare, no single payer, as in the government won't be the entity that provides insurance to everybody. But, Larry, it took 14 months and hundreds of hearings to come up with Obamacare. Is it possible that President-elect Trump has come up with a plan this fast?
I don't think so, but, maybe miracles still happen. We'll see. As we've said a million times, the devil's in the details, particularly on health care. It's a tough, complicated topic. Ask President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They couldn't do it in the early 90s. Ask President Harry Truman. He couldn't get it done during his term. So we'll see what he actually comes up with. But these grand promises will come back to haunt him because it's guaranteed that millions of people will be unhappy, that large corporations will be unhappy. Trump says he's going after the pharmaceutical industry. They're big, they're powerful. They've given millions and millions of dollars to hundreds of members of Congress for years and years and years. They're not just going to sit there and take it. So it's easy to make these grand pronouncements. It's really tough to get a plan done that works.
I'm glad you mentioned the pharmaceutical companies because that's my next question. Because Jason, Mr. Trump says he'll pressure the drug companies to reduce prices using his Twitter account, just like he did with that plane thing.
Right.
So this is actually something that Democrats have pushed for years and Republicans have been absolutely against. So, just looking toward the good side of things, Mr. Trump is trying to take politics out of it and come up with an idea that works.
Carol, I don't know if I'm all that enthusiastic about a president scolding and affecting the business world through Twitter. And I don't know that he has a new plan. I mean, I don't believe him. He needs more people. I don't believe it until I actually see it. But I will say this. The issue is not always with the insurance. The issue is not always with pharmaceutical companies. Sometimes it's with the insurance companies. It is expensive to come up with new drugs. And I'm not getting any drug insurance money. I just know it's expensive to come up with new drugs. It's the coverage of those drugs that is often the problem for families that are suffering and are going bankrupt. So unless he can find a way to completely change the pharmaceutical market and also force drug companies and insurance companies to cover more, he doesn't have a fix. And I'm still waiting to see that plan after an 18-month campaign.
Yeah, but he says he's going to shame the pharmaceutical companies into lowering prices, Larry. Might it be possible that could work?
Here and there. I mean, that's happened already before Trump. Occasionally, you can focus on a pharmaceutical company that's dramatically raised the price of the
EpiPen, right?
Yes.
Exactly, like the EpiPen, and sure enough, they cave. But I don't think there's enough space on Twitter. And I know it's supposed to be infinite, but I don't think there's enough space on Twitter to go after every pharmaceutical company that has a high-priced drug day after day after day. And we all know Donald Trump has loads of other targets on Twitter. If you can hunker down for a day or two, he'll switch targets. I'll tell you one thing. I just hope President Trump has learned from the mistakes President Obama made. I would suggest to him never to say, if you like your doctor, you can keep him or her. That was a big mistake President Obama made, and President Trump is on the edge of making some of the same errors. If he does, his health care plan is going to be just as controversial, if not more controversial, than President Obama's was.
Well, I want to get into one more thing that Donald Trump told the Washington Post because I find it very intriguing. Jason, Mr. Trump says if lawmakers don't go along with his agenda, his plans, he'll use his 20 million Twitter followers as a weapon, and he'll also use the power of his presidency. What does that sound like to you?
Well, it sounds like he's using the power of negotiation, which is what you're supposed to do. A lot of the presidency is soft power. But in all honesty, if Congress wanted to do something that they don't want President Trump to know about, just do it on Saturday night because they know he's not paying attention. He's watching Alec Baldwin. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you can't shame people but so much. And we saw this with the House ethics issue about a week and a half ago. Yes, if the American citizens come in and call, they can change what's going to happen in Congress. But ultimately, you've got the money that Congress people are receiving. You've got their own constituencies. There's but so much power the president really has if he can't negotiate with people in good faith.
We're going to have to sit back and see what happens, as they say. Jason Johnson, Larry Sabato, thanks to both of you. Still to come in the newsroom.